lot of people that have a hard time falling into or believing in astrology is usually because they instantly don't relate to their sun sign. So therefore never end up reading more past it. Because they don't know that they're acting out their rising sign and feeling their moon sign. Due to that, people can assume astrology puts people into a box. But when more personal research is done into one's own birth chart, you come to realize the birth chart shows how intricately unique everyone is. It can bring a lot of relief about one's true nature. Astrology understands how complex we can be woven together by different parts of us that come into play at different scenarios, different situations. I feel like learning your rising sign for the first time is like opening that first occult door. Mind you, occult just means hidden knowledge. We tend to fall into expressing our sun sign at a more developed adult stage in our life. Our rising sign, you see it a lot more when we're younger. The rising sign, ascendant sign, the first house, whatever you want to call it, is in connection with Aries, the archetype of the burst into existence. So the first house sets up the rest of your 12 houses. So it plays a vital role in your fate and destiny. The rising sign is a sign that was rising over the eastern horizon when you were born. How many times have you heard that? I like the way Stephen Forrest puts it, one of my favorite evolutionary astrologers, and I'll read it here. The rising sign you have was dawning, just like the sun dawns in the morning. And so the ascendant represents how you dawn on people. It is your style, your effect, the way you present yourself to the social world. Okay, so when a baby is born, it doesn't know that a stove is hot. It has to touch it to discover something that it was not aware of. Feedback from environment makes one become self-aware. The ascendant or rising sign works rather similarly, being our reaction to new stimuli. So for example, at a social setting, party, meeting someone new, someone coming up to you. The rising shows our perception of what we think the world is like. The window through which we see the world determines the mask we put on for others. Projection of who we wish we were based on the family or culture that our environment surrounded us with. It describes our physical appearance, our body type, demeanor, disposition, what we come across like. Some people can come across more shy than they really are, or more closed off. Some others more open than they really are. An example I always really like to use is myself with my friends. I'm a Scorpio with a Gemini rising, and Gemini risings are sort of flighty, up in the air, very social, talkative types, but Scorpios can be a lot more serious and deep perspective, and have a lot more to them than meets the eye. So people, once they get to know me, see that side of me. And I've always been very talkative amongst a group of people. I'm curious and ask questions and like to get along with everybody. Very chameleon-like. And so that's definitely a part of me. I'm a friendly person and positive and all that. I think most people might see me a little bit more superficial though than I am off the bat, right? Once they get to know me, they see that, especially my Mercury being in Scorpio, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, so when you connect it to, I like talking about really deep stuff, and like, you know, I can actually have some very quiet moments and kind of like my alone time, and just don't always need to be talking. So I see a more reserved and deep side to me that I don't always show to everyone. Note that the rising sign becomes our defense mechanism to the outside world. But the outside world is just as much a part of our being. The descendant 7th house will automatically be the opposite sign. So let's say you're a Libra rising, then your 7th house will be in Aries. And that can really draw you to Aries type like people. You'll notice the 7th house will be the kinds of people that you attract into your life, for better or for worse, but definitely to balance you out for a learning experience. No rising sign is better than another, but I think today we live in a world where extroversion is preferred over introversion, especially when it comes to certain careers. But I think you have to develop and really value your rising sign. You have to value your ascendant traits. Learn to develop them the best way that you can. The rising sign is the vehicle through which you'll be able to achieve any goals or dreams that you have in mind.